Today, almost 100% of Iceland's energy comes from renewable resources. Good afternoon, my name is Van. So, Iceland has risen from poverty and foreign rule to become one of the world's most sustainable and independent countries using geothermal and hydrothermal energy. So, I'll take a moment just to talk about what those are. Geothermal energy involves harnessing the Earth's heat. So, here on this diagram, it's a basic breakdown of what these two energy sources are. So geothermal energy involves pumping cold water into the ground where the Earth's natural heat heats up the water, and that hot water is pumped to the surface. And of course, it has a variety of uses, such as heating swimming pools, space heating for houses, having hot water in a faucet, and I will discuss some more here later on. Now, hydrothermal energy, it's really similar to geothermal, but there are some key differences. So as that cold water is being turned into hot water, some of that steam escapes, and hydrothermal involves harnessing that steam as well as some of the hot water to in turn generate turbines that produce electricity, which of course again has a variety of uses, such as heating houses and the electricity that we all have to power our lights and electronic devices. So going back to geothermal energy, about 25% of the country's energy production comes from geothermal sources, and that can be broken down further. And we can see here that the two largest consumers of geothermal energy in Iceland are electricity and space heating at 40 and 43% respectively. We've got greenhouses, fish farming industry, and snow melting and swimming pools. Focusing on snow melting for just a moment. According to the National Energy Authority of Iceland, about 920,000 square miles of Iceland's, mainly Reykjavik, because that's the capital, benefit from snow melting. So those same geothermal sources where the cold water's heated into hot water, underneath the streets and sidewalks of Reykjavik is a vast network of these pipes that melt the snow before it ever has a chance to accumulate. And they benefit from this year-round, which is really important because Iceland is also one of the coldest countries in the world. Going back and focusing on swimming pools, according again to the National Energy Authority of Iceland, about 90% of the country's swimming pools are powered through geothermal processes. And this is important because they actually have quite a bit per capita. Now focusing on hydrothermal sources. As I mentioned, it's the steam and the hot water that are harnessed that are used to generate turbines that, again, in turn, generates electricity. So according to the article, Iceland's Sustainable Energy Story, A Model for the World, written by Logadóttir in 2015, 9 out of 10 houses are heated this way through hydrothermal processes. And this actually amounts to 72% of the energy production in Iceland. So 72% comes from hydrothermal sources, 25% comes from geothermal sources. And that 3% difference can be attributed to wind, solar, and of course fossil fuels, because Iceland is reliant on those as well. According to LKL's article, after economic collapse, here's how Iceland rebuilt a powerful green economy, written in 2014. Iceland's use of renewable energy sources has saved a net profit of half of the GDP of Iceland's GDP in 10 years. It has also allowed Iceland to see 3% economic growth. And although that doesn't sound like a lot, just for comparison, according to tradingeconomics.com, the US sees about 3.25% economic growth on average. So it's just slightly above, ours is slightly above theirs. Iceland, because Iceland uses renewable energy, they have also consistently had less than 5% unemployment rate. And again, just for comparison, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the U.S.'s unemployment rate hovers at about 4.9%. But just like the phoenix that rose from the ashes, so too has Iceland to build an infrastructure, overcome poverty, and carve out a niche for itself in the global market, all powered by sustainable hydrothermal and geothermal energy. Thank you.